Hello, my name is Ellie. If you didn't guess from my shirt and the wall behind me, I am a Crystal Palace fan. Welcome back to episode 12 of Either Way View. This is a series I created to connect with fellow Fanalysis members ahead of our fixtures. This week is our first midweek fixture as we head into the festive period, and this week we're travelling to Turf Moor to face Burnley, and today I'm joined with Burnley fan Andrew. How are you doing today, Andrew?
I'm good, thank you, Ellie. Good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being here. So, we're coming this weekend, Burnley sitting 19th with 10 points, coming off the back of four back-to-back losses, with the most recent one being a 3-1 loss to Brentford. How would you evaluate your season so far?
Pretty much where we expect to be, I think, at the moment. We know that Burnley fans ourselves, we're used to relegation scraps now, especially over the last few years. And I think no one's, especially with the start that we've had, playing United, City, Liverpool, Spurs, all those in such close, proximity. I think a lot of people would have expected us to be where we are. But then you look at the games where we've played the so-called lesser teams. I mean, it's the Premier League. There are no lesser teams. But the so-called lesser teams where we might have thought we could pick up points. And they're the games which have sort of let us down a little bit. But at the moment, we're sitting in 19th with 10 points. We're just into the start of December. I think it's been as expected.
What is your opinion on the festive period and having fixtures every 4 to 5 days?
I love it. I love it
Really?
as a football fan. I absolutely love it because I'd have football every day if I could. But I understand it's a big congestion for the players, and this is around the period where you do see the drop in quality of football because players are getting tired and things. But yeah, as a football fan, I love it because I'd just have football on all day, every day if I could.
That's fair enough. I think as a Palace fan, at the moment I absolutely detest it because it's obviously our first season in Europe, and
Of course, yeah.
we haven't won a game after playing midweek, and now we have obviously these matches and the cup matches. It's just a lot in my opinion, and our players are getting injured unfortunately. But if you had to pick one player from your team we should be fearful of this weekend, who would it be?
I think it's going to sound strange because I know you said someone to be fearful of, but Martin Dubravka, our goalkeeper, because he
Okay.
has, despite the goals that we have conceded, and I think we're averaging 3 goals a game in the last couple of games. He's been the reason we are where we are and the points that we have picked up. Um, we're not really an attacking team. I think you look back at Scott Parker's previous stints in the Premier League, and Bournemouth and Fulham fans will tell you he's not an attacking manager. And we've sort of seen that a lot this year. We don't seem to want to get forward, so our position in the table is mainly due to us, I say, strong defensive attributes, but we've not really shown that many this year. But yeah, Martin Dubravka, he's the reason we are where we are this season.
Interesting. I haven't had a goalkeeper chosen so far. But interesting. And then on the flip side, who are you most fearful to play?
Everyone. I John Philippe Mateta, every time he gets the ball tomorrow, I'm going to be biting my nails because he is an exceptional striker. And he's almost had like a rejuvenation under Glasner, Ante. He's
Yes.
just a completely different player. And yeah, he's one that I'm fearful of. But another one's Adam Wharton. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
he's got the connections of being a Lancashire lad with his time at the youth academy with Blackburn, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're our bitter rivals, and he is a Blackburn lad, so he's going to have a point to prove
Yeah.
against us. And as much as it pains me to say it about someone who came from our rivals, he is a top class player, and yeah, when he's on the ball, he's something else. So it'd be between Mateta and Wharton that I'm very, very scared of.
It is two solid choices. And watching Adam Wharton play week in, week out is something very special. And I love watching him play. He just creates something out of nothing most of the time. That he's just special. But I have seen Palace fans wanting Mateta rested because they're not really happy with his prolificness in front of goal. So it could be a lucky day, and we could see him rested tomorrow. But I don't think he should be rested. I think he should play. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
don't worry. He'd probably be rested, and whoever steps in will just score the goals instead.
but we are travelling with our Ismail Sarr, which will be a huge loss because he went off injured against United, which is a shame. Um, but anyway, what is your opinion on Palace and their fan base?
I really like Crystal Palace. I know obviously you probably expect that and get that a lot with people who come on here. But yeah, I really like Crystal Palace. They're a side that Burnley and Palace historically we've always had good games against. I think back to the not the last time we were relegated, but the year before, when we had Maxwell Cornet and we drew 3 apiece with Crystal Palace. Then go back to Andre Gray scoring at Selhurst Park, for us to get our first away win of the season. And then, even as far back as when Eddie Howe was our manager and we played you guys and it was 4-3, it always just seems to be a really, really good, entertaining game with Palace. And then yeah, you guys winning the FA Cup last season, I was so happy for you because not just because it's Crystal Palace, but I'm sick of the big teams winning it.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
so nice to see a team, especially one who'd, again, not necessarily stagnated under Roy Hodgson, but you'd sort of just become a mid-table Premier
yeah.
League team. And that was it. There didn't seem to be, not that there was no ambition because every chairman has ambitions for the
Mm-hmm.
club, but you just seemed to be lying in the middle of the Premier League all the time.
Yeah.
And Oliver Glasner's come in and wow, I mean, he's done a fantastic job. And I know his first game as Palace manager was a 3-0 beating of Burnley. Um, but yeah, I just think I really like Crystal Palace. And I've been to Selhurst Park and it's a really nice ground. And when I did go, I bumped into a few Palace fans, and they were really nice to talk to. And the same when you guys have been to Burnley. So, yeah, you're probably my favourite London team, if I'm honest.
Oh, that is a big statement. I feel like everyone that I've interviewed has always been so nice about Palace, but we are such a family club,
Yeah,
and the fans generally want the best for their team. So it's nice to hear everyone else feels the same. And like you said, under Glasner, it's been so refreshing because yeah, under Hudson, football was very, very boring to watch most weekends. It was very defensive, no attacking ambition. Whereas now, it's just the complete opposite. And I do feel sorry for Glasner, and he spoke out after our game against United because he's not getting the backing from the board. And we're
no.
in the position now we should be pushing on up the table and fighting for the top spots, but we're just not being given the backing from the board, which is a shame. But hopefully in January we can, yeah, do something. What we are heading towards the January transfer window. So, what are your ambitions for Burnley in January?
We need a striker. We need an out and out attacker. And I know that every team needs a striker. And that's why it's probably the hardest position to fill
Mm-hmm.
because everyone wants someone who can put 20 goals in the back of the net every season. But like I said, we've become very defensive and our attacking options are limited. We're not a very creative side. Very similar to what you just described there under Roy Hodgson is what Burnley is at the moment. Um, we are very defensive and to stay in the Premier League, we know that we need to score goals and we need to get points on the board. And the only way to do that, obviously, is to put the ball in the back of the net. And it sounds so simple saying we need a striker, we need a winger, we need these players. But yeah, my ambition is we just need someone who knows where the back of the net is, because our striking options are very, very limited, and the options we do have aren't really Premier League quality.
Yeah. If you do you have any one you have your eye on in particular?
I've seen that Josh Sargent from Norwich could be
Okay.
available, so he could be one. I believe that we were interested in the summer. I've also seen today that Christian Benteke is now a
Yeah.
free agent,
It is, yeah.
which you guys will be able to tell me he does know where the back of the net is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think. Listen, that's why the agents at the club get paid the big money, and I'm sat here on
Mm-hmm.
my settee. It's up to them, but yeah, there's a few that I would like. But honestly, if they go abroad and they find some hidden gem somewhere, I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know it's a really tough question to ask, but do you think you'll stay in the Premier League this season?
No, I think there's a massive step in quality between the Championship and the Premier League, and we obviously, we've seen that over the last couple of seasons with all the promoted teams going
Yeah.
down. And I think that this season there might be one of the teams to buck that trend. Um, but Burnley aren't strong enough. We're not strong enough to do it, unfortunately, unless there's a big change and we do sack Scott Parker, which at the moment I hope we don't. Um, but if we do sack him and we do manage to get an attacking fluid, you know, that sort of manager, an Oliver Glasner type, then maybe we can stay up. But no, I think Burnley, Wolves,
Mhm.
and potentially Leeds. I think that's the three that will go down.
Oliver Glasner is not for sale. He is staying where he is. um, but I'm assuming the team you were implying is Sunderland. They are
Yeah,
definitely
the
staying in the Premier League. I,
100%.
I can't believe the season they've had. I predicted them to finish 20th,
That
and they're
was
literally flying.
that was my prediction. I thought they'd be not necessarily close to Derby's points record, but
Mm-hmm.
I thought they'd finish rock bottom and they'd
Yeah,
really, really struggle. And the job that Labrise has done there and the players they've got and where they are in the league, I am very, very jealous as a Burnley fan to see a fellow promoted side do
yeah.
what they're doing.
It's insane. But again, it's refreshing to see a
Yeah,
team that come up from the championship and implement themselves the way they have, because we
yeah,
haven't seen it in ages. So it as much as it must hurt you, it is nice. It feels
yeah.
neutral.
Oh, definitely. It would be more beneficial for Burnley to see them down there. But no, it's like you say, as a football fan, you always want the underdogs to do well.
Yeah,
And I think Sunderland finished like 24 points behind Burnley last season or something ridiculous. And
wow.
to see how they've done since winning the playoff final and getting to where they are in the league is
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. And good luck to them, because that's what we want. We want more stories like Sunderland where they are and Palace winning the FA Cups
yeah,
rather than City and Liverpool winning
yeah.
it all the time.
It's just boring. It's boring. Are you a season ticket holder?
I am, yes.
So, do you have any tips, hints, or must-dos for fans travelling to Turf Moor this weekend?
If you like a fish and chip shop, there is one
Mm-hmm.
round the corner from the ground called the Parkview Chippy.
Okay.
I'd recommend going there for a fish and chips. Um, there's the cricket club, which is open to home and away fans, which has a bar,
Mhm.
and a lot of home and away fans do tend to mingle in there. Um,
Interesting. That's really rare.
yeah, yeah,
Really,
it's
really
it's
rare.
very it's very strange, but yeah, they do let both sets of
Wow.
fans go in there, and there doesn't seem to be any trouble.
Wow.
and then you've got the Royal Dyche, which is mainly home fans. But if you zip your coat up and don't let people see your Palace shirt, it's definitely worth. Having said that, you'd get welcomed in, and we are a friendly bunch. Apart from the odd group that you
Yeah.
always get, but we are a friendly bunch because we know we're not one of these big teams where
Mm-hmm.
we're entitled to everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd probably recommend having a look in the Royal Dyche because it's one on its own of a pub.
Lovely. I'm not sure if you saw the videos of Palace fans in Strasbourg. Um, they were fighting each other, which is just crazy. But like you said, every team has that one group of fans that just ruin it for everyone
Yeah,
else. But I'm going to Ireland next week for the Conference League game, and then I need to avoid my own fans, which is just crazy to think.
yeah,
Yeah, and then you have teams like you who happily welcome away
yeah,
fans into their
yeah,
clubs.
yeah. And it's strange because this season as well, the the police and the club, I don't know who it's come from, they've decided to shut the road where the cricket field is. So
Oh,
that road is only for the away fans, but
right,
then the home fans can go to the cricket club for a drink, but then they
right.
have to run down the road to be away from the away fans, and it's crazy because as well they've made it so that away fans, if they've travelled by train or
Mhm.
driven their cars, they can come out onto the main road where the home fans are. So it's like why have you
Makes
blocked
no
it off? It
sense.
makes no sense. No.
Yeah, sometimes the police make some weird decisions that you just have to, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. So last time we played you at Turf Moor, it was 2-0. And last time we played you at Selhurst Park, it was 3-0 to us. What is your prediction this weekend? No, this week.
Yeah. My heart says Burnley. My heart says 2-1 to Burnley.
Wow,
Um,
okay.
but I know full well that we're not in a good run of form. I know that you guys lost to United the other day, but
Wow.
you are a good team. And like you say, I think it's unbeaten in 4 against us or 5. So I'm gonna have to go for a Palace win. I'll say 2-1 because then at least Burnley have scored.
Okay, fair enough, interesting. But I am slightly concerned based on how we played against United and Strasbourg. Did you see the match at all?
I saw the United match, yeah.
Yeah, so the first half, we were insane, should have been 3-0 up, and then second half, no idea what happened, and we just lost our heads, and it was 2-1. So I'm a little bit concerned, but hey, that's happened twice now, twice in 4 days. So surely there's no, can't let it happen a third time. So I have to predict Palace to win, but I'm not sure on the score. I think you will score, but we'll see.
I
We will
hope so.
see.
It's a long time since I've seen us score at Burnley. It's a few weeks now, so it would be nice.
Are you going to the match?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, straight home from work and straight down to the turf.
Wednesday night at 7:30 is not fun. Yeah. Where can my viewers find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter, Instagram, all the social media platforms, just always Claret. I make graphics, so if anyone ever needs any, just drop me a message and we can sort something out.
Amazing. Thank you very much for being on this episode. Be sure to give Andrew a follow, and I will see you next week for another episode of Either Eye View.